Hello everyone, and welcome to Mr. Simplifies Tutorials. In this video we'd be looking at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Specifically, we would be looking at the use or the application of Maslow's hierarchy of needs in business. This would be extremely useful for you if you are a student, a business student rather, or a manager trying to motivate his or her team, or a business owner trying to find out issues within the team, or motivate your employees to achieve more. Okay, so we start off by looking at the basic model of the hierarchy of needs by Maslow. It is, however, very important at this stage to understand that the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a psychological theory of motivation. So it's essentially a motivational theory. It helps in understanding what actually drives people, what actually motivates people. How do people see things? How do people react to situations? What are people's reactions when they achieve something and when they're looking for something? So it's a very interesting analysis of the human mind. So essentially, it's a motivational theory because when there are needs that are not met, it motivates people to actually go out there and do what they need to do to actually achieve them. On the other hand, if certain basic needs aren't fulfilled, it also leads to people being dissatisfied. So there are various angles, there are various ways to look at these various levels in the hierarchy of needs, and it's useful in several different ways to understand people and to predict their role, to predict the way they're actually going to react in a situation. So as you can see, there are 5 levels of the basic original Maslow's hierarchy of needs, starting from physiological to safety needs, to belongingness and love needs, to esteem needs, to self-actualization needs. Now you can also observe that these needs are actually classified together, clubbed together into basic needs, physiological needs, and self-fulfillment needs. So why is that? It exists, this actually exists for a reason. Oh, beg your pardon, I think I mentioned physiological. B would be, yes, psychological needs. So yeah, belongingness and love and esteem can be clubbed together as psychological needs rather. Beg your pardon. So we move on to the first classification, which is basic needs. Basic needs have biological needs like air, food, drink, shelter, warmth, sex and sleep included. So these are like the bare essentials, the bare minimum requirements of people. Unless these requirements are met, people are not going to actually look at higher requirements. And then we move on to safety needs. Safety needs include protection from various external elements. Safety needs also include having no fear, having freedom, having stability, having a law to govern them. So there are various aspects which are not covered under biological needs, which are actually covered under basic safety needs rather, but together these are the basics. These are like basic elements which govern human minds, which actually must be addressed for human beings to prosper. It's important to understand that these basic survival needs must be fulfilled in order for individuals to rise up and achieve things. Unless these needs are fulfilled, people are not going to think about what actually drives them to achieve to the level best they can. And until these needs are fulfilled, one cannot go to higher levels, as I just mentioned. So it's very important to ensure that from a business point of view that your employees are achieving these basic needs, for instance. Now to the second level, which is psychological needs. Now these include obviously these are not as basic as the basic needs. It isn't a matter of survival anymore, it's a matter of wanting more from life. So there are aspects like belongingness and love, so friendship, intimacy, trust, belongingness to a family, to a group of friends, to colleagues, and not just giving affection, but also receiving affection and love, extremely important. And then there are esteem needs, which is the next level, which takes it to quite an enhanced level, taking it to achievement, actually achieving your goals, at least some of them. And then status, mastery, independence, dominance, self-respect, and respect from others. These are all extremely important in terms of a human being's psychological needs. And once you get to this level, the quality of your life has obviously increased exponentially. You're no longer looking at basics, you're looking at the next stage. You're surviving, but you're also living, I would say. And now we move on to the final level, which is self-fulfillment needs. Now these are enhanced needs. Human beings are advanced, complex creatures, and it's not just important for us to survive, it's also important for us to achieve, to realize our personal potential, to get a sense of self-fulfillment, to seek growth, to seek acceptance, to seek life-changing experiences and adventures. That is why you see people cycling across from one corner of the country to another. That is why you see people try and pull off crazy stunts on the internet. It's all self-fulfillment. It's not about survival, but it's about proving their own worth to themselves. Okay, now obviously it must actually have gone through your mind that there does exist an expanded Maslow's hierarchy of needs, an expanded version. The original hierarchy has been expanded upon it to include things like cognitive needs, aesthetic needs, transcendence needs. Now, because the crux of the matter, because the motive of this video is to actually look at the business application side of things, I've decided to use the original hierarchy, which is most popularly applied in a business sense. But if you are interested in knowing about the expanded hierarchy, please do let me know in the comment section, and I will produce a fresh video to look at the expanded hierarchy for you. So yes, if you are interested, please do let me know. My decision to actually make that video will be based on if I receive a sufficient number of comments and requests for the same. Now we look at the actual application side of things. How do we apply this very interesting model of understanding human psychology to business? So if we look at the first level, one of the basic levels, which is physiological needs. So what would that apply? What would that mean in a business sense? Are the basic needs of employees being fulfilled? So for instance, are employees earning enough to be able to feed themselves, to pay their rent, to pay the bills, etc.? Are you providing enough salary for people to survive in a particular city? Because every city has different standards of living. Different cities require different levels of salaries. So are we actually paying employees enough for them to be able to sustain themselves? That is what that is what should be addressed at this level. And why would this be addressed? Why would you think this would be addressed? Maybe the organization undertaking this study is facing a problem of a lot of employees leaving. Maybe employees are not turning up to work on time or not looking motivated enough. That is the right opportunity for you as a business owner or as a manager to understand how your employees are feeling, and this is a very important tool for you to actually be able to do that. Now we move on to the next level, which is safety. So this can be looked at in two different ways. Firstly, do you actually offer a safe working environment for people to feel safe? They won't be harmed, basically. And then the second aspect is if you're providing job security, job safety for your employees. For instance, if people fear for their jobs, if you're a hot-headed employer and you make people fear for their jobs and people start thinking that, okay, I've done something wrong, will I not be called tomorrow to work? Will I just get a resignation on my face? That's not a feeling of security for any employee, and obviously employee numbers are going to reduce if that is the situation. And the next level is belongingness and love. So in the context of business, do your employees feel wanted in the organizations? Do they feel like they're part of the big scheme of things? They're part of the team that you want them to represent? Do they actually feel like they are a part of your organization? So extremely important, once again, a definite motivation and a definite driver for engagement, I would say. And then the next level is esteem. Now, do you actually respect your employees? Do they actually feel respected? And then the jobs that you're assigning them, are they menial jobs? Are they not providing them a sense of self-respect? These are the things that you need to understand. Obviously, if you've got employees at a postgraduate level and you're providing them, you're assigning them responsibilities of changing a light bulb or fixing the wiring, then if they're asked to do that on a very regular basis, there is a chance that there is a slight possibility that they would feel that it's beneath their self-respect. Obviously, these sort of things change from person to person, but if you're coming across a trend, if you're coming across a pattern where multiple people are feeling, the same, feeling, similar, harboring similar feelings, I would say, then it's time to reevaluate your strategy, is what I would say. And then the final level, self-actualization. This is very complicated to actually measure and imply on a business level, because different people are extremely different. So every person, every employee would be different, and it would be a very interesting exercise for you to find out if a person or a team or all individuals are intellectually driven, and are their intellectual needs being fulfilled? Do employees get a feeling of meeting targets and deadlines? Yes, that is very much possible. That is possible if you select, if you set rather realistic deadlines. If your deadlines are too unrealistic, your employees will never get that feeling of meeting or exceeding their deadlines. Not a very good trait. Okay, so this is like a brief overview of how the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the basic version, the original version, can be applied to business. There can be several interpretations, but this is one of the more popular ones, and this is certainly the interpretation that I follow and recommend. Okay, I thank you all very much for your attendance. Thank you all very much for your love and support so far, and I encourage you to like and support these videos so I come up with content on a more regular basis. Share this video, like all the videos, and the comments always help, and feel free to subscribe and recommend my channel to other people as well. Thank you very much. I hope you have a very safe and productive day. Thank you. Bye.